Guys, what is going on? Welcome to my preview and predictions video for both NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 and for the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam 2017. Both these shows will be airing tomorrow, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, tomorrow at 8 p.m. on the WWE Network, and SummerSlam will be airing on Sunday, August the 21st, live from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Now, in terms of which show I'm anticipating more, got to give the edge to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. Just a more streamlined, not 13-match card, that might drag in spots. NXT TakeOver usually packs the most bang for its buck, and it usually gets the most out of the 2.5-hour runtime that it has. It always leaves you wanting more and not less, and that is the one concern that I have with SummerSlam this year. Once again, 13 matches. 5.5-hour runtime. These shows just continue to get longer and longer and longer and become more and more difficult to watch. So I'm glad WWE has learned from its past. Less is more, right? What do I know? But in this video, we're going to start and look at the NXT TakeOver Brooklyn card, run through all the matches, and I'll give you my preview and predictions for it. So let's start from the bottom and work our way to the top. Really good card, I'd have to say. One of the stronger NXT TakeOver cards I've seen in a while. And with the first match, let's start with Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas. Zelina Vega will be in Andrade's corner. It's tough to predict a winner for a lot of these matches on the NXT card, and that's what I like about it. It's really going to be a toss-up. If I had to pick a winner for this match, I don't know, because they just linked up Andrade and Zelina, so I don't know if they're going to be on the same page, if he has a new attitude, a new mindset going into this match. Therefore, that's why I'm kind of thinking he'll get the win. This is also Johnny Gargano's first match in a singles push. Would he be hurt with a loss here? I don't really think he would. But I could also see him get a surprise upset win, which wouldn't upset me because I really like Johnny Gargano. I'm a fan of his. Going back and forth on this, but if I had to pick a winner here, I'm going to go with Andrade Cien Almas as my winner for this match. I think it'll be a really good match and potentially could open the show. I think this would be a good show opening match. Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami. This might be the match of the night and potentially steal the entire weekend. When it was put on paper, I really think these two can go in there and just tear each other's heads off. Just literally kick and punch the hell out of each other. I really like what they've done with Aleister Black so far. I really like the way that they've been building him up. He's undefeated. I like the way they went about Hideo Itami's heel turn. Just his overall frustrations with his lack of success, really, in NXT. It plays into those real-life frustrations that I'm sure he has. So that helped. But I think these two will go out there and have a phenomenal match. My pick for the winner, I'm going to go with Aleister Black. He will remain undefeated on NXT. We have the Authors of Pain, Ikemen Razor versus Sanity, Killian Dane, and Alexander Wolf for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Interesting matchup here is both teams are really heels. And right now there's a little bit of a lack of depth when it comes to the NXT Tag Team division scene. But we are getting the infusion of new teams into the NXT Tag Team division scene. So, trying to think of the teams that we could be seeing added into that tag team division scene, like Red Dragon, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly. Heard good things about them. Would like to see them, team up. It'd be great depth for the NXT tag team division. We also can't forget about TM61. Miller and Thorne. They got to be coming back soon from injury. And then, of course, the Street Profits, who I Actually like. I'm a fan of their work on what they've been doing the last 2 weeks with them on NXT. Just something cool and different, really. And then you have teams like Heavy Machinery, Tina Sabatelli, and Riddick Moss. So there can be a strong NXT tag team division. Question is, what is the outcome of this match? I really just don't see Sanity winning the NXT tag team titles. I'd like to see them win it, but I just don't think that they're gonna. And this is the match that I'm unsure at least, how it'll play out on paper, how the flow of the match will go. If it'll be a good match or not, we don't know. Who knows? Maybe they could have a phenomenal match. Maybe it'll just be an okay match. I doubt it'll be bad, because really NXT TakeOver, there's little to no bad on these shows, and that's what I like. Everybody gives their best effort going forward. So my pick for the winner is going to be Akam and Rezar. They're going to retain their NXT Tag Team Championships. We have Asuka defending her NXT Women's Championship versus Ember Moon in a rematch from NXT TakeOver Orlando. Love the history, love the build for this match, going up to all the way back to the finish of that match, when Asuka had Cheat push the referee onto Ember Moon, and that allowed for Asuka to neutralize the Eclipse. And with Ember getting hurt, she had to work and fight her way to get back into title contention. So while that sucked for her, not being in that what originally was supposed to be Fatal 4-Way match at TakeOver Chicago, I think it played into the long-term story. They were able to play it up, and it made me anticipate this match that much more. Now, the question is, will Ember Moon be the one to dethrone the unbeatable Asuka? Can she pull off the unthinkable? And that's what I like about it. Asuka has been champion now. It's got to be over 500 days. It is a long time. And something just tells me, and I said this last time, so I could be wrong, but I really think that Ember Moon will be the one to defeat Asuka. I really think she will be the one to bring her title reign to an end. And she's over 500 days as champion. I believe she's at 503. Asuka is. I could be wrong, but I'm going with 503. So I think they'll have a much better match than they did at TakeOver Orlando, because I liked the match that they had there, but I just felt like there was so much more that I was looking forward to from it, and I didn't really get it. And hopefully in this match, we get them going all out. That's what I want to see. So I'm predicting Ember Moon will end the reign of Asuka and become your new NXT Women's Champion. Let's talk about the main event. Bobby Roode, Glorious, versus Drew McIntyre for the NXT Championship. Should be a really good main event. It would be interesting to see the involvement of Roderick Strong. If there will be any involvement from him. Due to the fact is what we saw this past week on NXT with Bobby Roode getting involved and causing the disqualification. McIntyre and Roode's match. I don't think that McIntyre wins the title here. I just feel like it would be too early in that chase. But if he does win the championship here, then it does mean one thing. I think it means that we will see Bobby Roode either on Raw, or I would have to assume SmackDown. If Cena's going to Raw, then wouldn't it make sense for Bobby Roode to fill the gap of Cena not being there by putting him on SmackDown? I think that makes sense to me. That's a scenario that I've been advocating, so I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to predict that Drew McIntyre wins, and Bobby Roode moves on to SmackDown. That's my prediction, and I'll stick with it. Why not? Got to go a little gutsy here. So yeah, all in all, this is a really strong NXT TakeOver card. I'm looking forward to it, anticipating it. Tomorrow, it's hard to believe it's already here, but that just goes to show you how fast time truly does go. And then let's talk about SummerSlam. SummerSlam 2017, 13 matches. Want to kill the crowd? Okay. Just warning you. You didn't learn from last year. We'll start from the bottom and work our way to the top. Let's talk about the pre-show. The part that I don't really watch. I'll watch for the SmackDown Tag Team title match. Otherwise, the other stuff, I don't think I'm gonna. We have the Hardy Boys and Jason Jordan versus The Miz and The Miztourage. Rematch announced from Raw this past week. Honestly, I know it's way to get these guys on the card, but it's just like, okay, we've seen this already. Do I really care? No. It sucks for the Hardys because they were going to feud with the Revival, who I heard Scott Dawson might be out till December. So that sucks. But if I had to pick a winner here, I'm picking the Hardys and Jason Jordan. Not really else too much to say about this. Akira Tozawa defending his Cruiserweight Championship versus Neville. Honestly, I thought they're going to do the match on Raw. Get it off the card. Maybe they just had timing issues. But no, we're just going to do the rematch again on the card. So we already saw the match. You know what they're probably going to do? Neville will probably win back the championship. There you go. That's my prediction for the Cruiserweight Championship match. And then we have the New Day versus the Usos. SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And it's sad the SmackDown Tag Team Championships are on the pre-show. And yet the Shark Cage match is on the main card. Doesn't really make much sense to me. I think these two will have a really good match. And this will be the match for the reason to tune into the pre-show. Thought they stole the show at Battleground, a show that needs to be deleted from the record books. It's tough to predict a winner for this one. I think the Usos have been doing some of the best work of their career. So you know what? Why not? Predicting the Usos will defeat the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. That's what I'm predicting. Let's get into the main card itself. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 matches on the main card. Big Show versus Big Cass. Enzo Amore will be suspended above the ring in a shark cage. Does anyone care? I really don't. But, hey. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think it was a mistake to break up Enzo and Big Cass. And I think that Enzo will help Big Cass win, and they will reunite. And just say it was all a ruse the entire time to make the Big Show look like a dumbass. There you go. Enzo and Big Cass were reunited the way they should be. They should have never been split up because Enzo's obviously going nowhere on his own. Big Cass has kind of been there. And obviously there's a lack of division in the Raw tag team scene. I mean, you have Sheamus and Cesaro, the Club, the Hardys, the Revival, but they're hurt. You only have 3 teams now. 4 if you count Slater and Rhino. Maybe the Miztourage. Ambrose and Rollins. Okay, so you got a decent amount. But, honestly, Slater and Rhino don't get used that much. You could throw the Miztourage into the tag team division scene. I'd be okay with that. And Ambrose and Rollins, we're not sure how long that's going to go. So, just saying there. But yeah, I'm predicting Big Cass wins, and Enzo Amore turns heel by helping Big Cass win. Randy Orton versus Rusev in the feud for 2 guys that had absolutely nothing to do. They had nothing for them, so they just said, here, you 2 are going to feud. Randy Orton's going to win. I can predict that easily, just due to the fact that he lost 3 straight pay-per-view matches. Well, 4 if you count the House of Horrors, 3 times against Jinder Mahal. So he's lost 4 pay-per-view matches in a row. He hasn't won a pay-per-view since WrestleMania. I'm predicting he will beat Rusev here. And hopefully ends this short feud. Because I'd rather have seen Chad Gable versus Rusev, honestly, compared to Blandy Borton versus Rusev. This doesn't really do much for me on paper. And we'll go to the other match that I'm just kind of there. John Cena versus Baron Corbin. Real quick, my thoughts on Corbin losing the briefcase in the way that he did. Rolled up after Jinder Mahal apparently got hit with 2 attitude adjustments by John Cena. I think it was a mistake to take the briefcase off Corbin heading into SummerSlam. And my worry is if he loses to Cena, boy, does he really look like a stupid idiot. I mean, what was the point of all this? Just make Corbin look foolish and weak? What, for something backstage that happened? I don't know. Maybe the plans changed. But the finish of this match will be very interesting. What I'm assuming is, due to the fact that Cena's moving to the Raw brand, kind of the old mentality of the guy on his way out of the territory, that even though, I thought maybe if Corbin still had the briefcase, he would lose to Cena and then cash in and win. But now that he's lost the briefcase, he has to win, right? Otherwise, what's the point of all this? And we need to see a new aggressive side to Baron Corbin. He lost his championship opportunity, so he should be really pissed off, really fired up, full of piss and vinegar. So that's something that I want to see this Sunday at SummerSlam. We have our 2 Women's Championship matches, Naomi versus Natalya for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Should be an okay match. Build has been there. Who knows? Maybe they'll give us a really good match. But from what I'm hearing, I thought maybe there would be a chance. I'm going to go out on a limb again and say that Carmella will cash in her Money in the Bank briefcase and become your new SmackDown Women's Champion. I think the time would be right here in Brooklyn. So even though we get the opposite reaction that they probably want, a massive pop rather than boos, but have that as you may. I was still predicting for this show that one of the 2 Money in the Bank contracts would be cashed in. Now, seeing as we have only one, I think that Carmella will be walking out as the new SmackDown Live Women's Champion. Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. Happy we are getting the rematch that we should have gotten from Great Balls of Fire all along. Instead of shoehorning Nia Jax in there for a triple threat match, just let Alexa and Sasha go out there, tell a really good story, have a really good match. And what I would like to see is for Sasha Banks to get her moment that she should have had last year at SummerSlam, when it was all screwed up. She won the title on Raw, then she went into SummerSlam. We're all thinking she's going to defend it successfully. She just loses to Charlotte like that. So hopefully this year Sasha Banks gets her moment and wins the Raw Women's Championship from Alexa Bliss. It would be a nice moment for Sasha, and give her a nice run with the title, because she still has yet to have that. Don't see what the problem would be in letting that happen. So I'm predicting that Sasha Banks will walk out with the Raw Women's Championship. We then have a match that I'm really eagerly anticipating. Sheamus and Cesaro versus Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins for the Raw Tag Team Championships. I love the storyline, the way that they built up the animosity, the tension that has been building and building and building between Ambrose and Rollins. And honestly, you could run this all the way till WrestleMania with either one of the guys turning heel on one another, and boom, there's your feud going into Mania. But depending on how long you want to stretch this feud out, the storyline out, I'm all for it, because it is made for some really good television. Some of the best stuff on Raw in months. For this match, it'll be interesting to see, coming out of what happened on Raw, how long they'll be able to stay on the same page with one another, that level of trust, and if they can stay on the same page and do what they've done previously in the past with the Shield, then we're going to see new Raw Tag Team Champions. I'm predicting that Ambrose and Rollins will walk out with the Raw Tag Team Championships. And I think it'll be a really good match, too. Really good match. Looking forward to this one. So it could be a sleeper. AJ Styles defending his United States Championship with Shane McMahon as the special guest referee versus Kevin Owens. Interesting. The one thing that I've been liking about SmackDown is the way that they've been building up the dynamic of having Shane McMahon as the special guest referee. I'm assuming this will be the blow-off of this feud, because let's face it, these guys have had a lot of matches against each other, and it would be the right time to end this feud here at SummerSlam, and then have them move on respectively. But I like the added element of Shane McMahon as special guest referee based on his history with AJ Styles. his recent history with Kevin Owens, which I think will lead to Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens down the line. So I think somehow there'll be some type of screwy finish that allows for AJ Styles to retain, and it infuriates Kevin Owens and leading to Shane McMahon and him having a match. I mean, I think the next SmackDown pay-per-view isn't until October, which I hope, which is good because then you get a longer build. Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens at Hell in a Cell. Yes. 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 That's what I'd like to see. But I'm predicting that AJ Styles will retain his United States Championship. We then have the modern-day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal, versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, with the added element of Money in the Bank being out of this outcome, I would love to see, and I hope, pray to God, because Jinder he's done better for himself, but the time for him being WWE Champion I think it needs to come to an end. And I'm hoping it does, and the right guy to beat him for the championship, huge spot for him, has been Shinsuke Nakamura. You could argue maybe they took some missteps with booking Nakamura to this point, but let's be honest, he had a really impressive debut on SmackDown Live with the violinist. He was in the Money in the Bank match. He beat John Cena clean. Still can't believe he did that to get this match opportunity, championship opportunity. And now he is fighting for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. So despite some questionable booking decisions early on, hey, he's in the WWE Championship match at SummerSlam, and I think he will walk out as your new WWE Champion. And depending on how long he holds that title for, we'd be preparing for a clash between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Hell yeah, that's something I'd like to see. So we shall see, but I am predicting Shinsuke Nakamura will be the new WWE Champion. And then we get into the Fatal 4-Way for the Universal Championship. The main event, Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman versus Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. Cannot tell you the last time I was this excited for a Fatal 4-Way match. And it's going to be a war. I want to see bodies and just the car crashes and, violence and all hell breaking loose in this match. I love the way that they built to it. I love the way that anybody really feels like they have a shot of winning the Universal Championship, despite what Paul Heyman said. If Brock loses, him and Heyman are gone. Which kind of leads me to think that we know Brock is advertised for shows coming up. I mean, they could have a way out of it by saying, oh, Heyman really didn't mean that, so they'd kind of be backpedaling. But my pick who I want to see win the Universal Championship is Samoa Joe. And right behind that is Braun Strowman. And I think there's money in Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. But Joe's my pick. But I'd really love to see Joe win that title. I really would. I feel like now is the time to put it on him and give him a run with it. Why not? He's killing it. He really is. With every opportunity that he gets, he is just hitting it out of the park. So I'm going to go out on a limb again and predict that Samoa Joe wins the Universal Championship. And guys and gals, that is my predictions and preview for both NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 and SummerSlam 2017. I want to say thank you for watching this video. Be sure to leave your predictions down below in the comment section once this video is uploaded. And be sure to come back to this channel tomorrow, August the 19th, immediately after NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. We're doing a live video review on my channel. And then I'll also be doing a live video review on my channel for SummerSlam 2017 as well after the pay-per-view. So I want to say thank you once again for watching. And until my next video, guys, take care.